trying to make it seem like you trying to save time. Talking about there's too much extra this and that.
You burning my whip,
hold on. Say that then. Dirty shit.
He burning my whip up, man.
Fit right in the book bag, but I got this tucked in my coat. 60 shots when I'm on a blade, leave a nigga laying hot in the snow. You don't about getting up close and watching a nigga turn John Doe. Pull up your ski if you ain't trying to catch a beef. Get in this ride.
17-year-old boy is now facing murder charges in a 2025 murder and armed robbery of another 17-year-old boy in Wicker Park.
Fellas, let me tell y'all right now, if you out there in the street doing anything that's on the cusp of illegal, or even if you out here working a 9 to 5, if you shining doing well for yourself, be very careful. There's somebody watching you right now that you may consider a friend, and the whole time they're wishing you didn't have the things that you have. They're preying on your downfall and you don't even know it. See, they say envy never comes from a distance, and that quote has proven to be true time after time after time. And I say that because as of today, I have already covered over 3 stories in total that had something to do with someone getting backdoored or set up by their friends or someone they were associated with. The first one was the man out in New York who wasn't even in the streets according to his peers. He maintained a good job that funded the lifestyle he liked to live, which consisted of wearing jewelry, name brand clothes, going out to fancy restaurants, and nightclubbing. He was tracked down by someone who was once a friend of his by them putting a tracking device on his car and was shot and unalive when he returned to his home after being followed. And get this, they did everything right in front of his own mother. Then you have the girl that was setting guys up in New York and Connecticut to be robbed, some in which things got out of hand and some of the situations resulted in violence. And then now we got this story right here where a young man decided to backdoor his own friend over a device used to steal cars. Now, can you believe that these days these young guys are willing to take a life, not even thinking about the consequence, over something that is not expensive and can be bought literally from a store or on Amazon? See, common sense amongst these young guys ain't common anymore, because common sense would tell you, you know what, if we stealing cars together, more than likely we're getting money together. So what is so hard for me to say, you know what, I'm tired of splitting money with him for these cars. Now that I know that I'm doing good and I know what I'm doing, I could do it on my own. I'm about to stack my own money, and the next car we get, I'm gonna take that money to buy my own machine and start doing things on my own. Keep in mind, I don't encourage anybody on stealing cars or indulging in this activity. I'm just talking common sense. But no, these kids just have to be so tough. Instead, they'd rather unalive their friends, take the machine for themselves, and now possibly spend the rest of their life in jail or get out when he's damn near already served life. All over nothing. Now here we have a kid by the name of Davier, aka Little Veno, who was only 17 years old, and the world knew him for being a TikToker. He could be seen online as he shopped, buying the Mary Jeans, often in Dodge Durangos and Hellcats, as well as flashing large stacks of money. It seems like Chicago rapper Chucky Wackham is his favorite rapper, and I'm assuming idol because he even goes by the alias Chucky Wackham's little brother. In many of the videos he posted can be seen using Chucky's music as well, further proving that he's heavily influenced by the Chicago rapper, and with that type of music that Chucky makes, you can only imagine that listening to it can influence you to want to do anything positive, and that same music may have also played a role in Vino's behavior when it came to the streets.
I'm not people with you, I'ma call it out. Nigga, this OVO loud. Nigga, I just was switch, gon' need you a time. Nigga, get put in that bag. Nigga, I hit you a switch, like you down like a rag. I call it out, it's that OVO. I'm throwing that on me, you know I'm trying to go. Brand new OVO with the heat since school.
Yes, he did attend school, and not sure how his grades were, but as he posted videos on TikTok detailing his life, he could be seen in class not doing much, or even pulling out cash, flexing money in front of his teacher, stating that he makes more than him.
Y'all can't see we in Spanish class right now? Come on, for y'all, I gotta get y'all work done, do y'all homework on that. Y'all see, I just scribble anything, cause gotta make it look like I did my work. Them random letters on, bro, you can see that.
Now, as y'all can see, this 17-year-old with braces and don't look no taller than 5'5" or 5'6", is heavily influenced by what he sees on social media and what his favorite rappers do. Most of these kids idolize what they see on these platforms and try to imitate it in real life and end up in a whole world of trouble before their lives even start. With that being said, all the money flashing, designer clothes wearing, and fancy restaurants would seem to have come from a dark side other than just making TikTok. This is because just like every other young kid doing something illegal and making money from it, they gotta let the world know what they doing by posting it on social media. So with that being said, we would then realize that all the cars we seen him in more than likely came from striking and selling them for profit. For y'all that don't know what striking is, it's when a person or persons steal a vehicle, more than likely a Scat Pack, Hellcat, or something fast they can get away from police in, or any type of luxury car depending on the use. They're mainly used to commit something illegal in by crooks, so they can't be traced during the commission of a crime if they ever are caught in public, and they could get away fast from police. Some guys get them the joyride in them as well, depending on how nice the car is, or if you even have a car, which is the same way Philly rapper Leaf Ward was originally captured and arrested as he was caught going on a date. Now, as y'all seen in the videos, Vino could be seen with something called the Pro Pad, dancing around and trolling, speaking on stealing cars. The same Pro Pad that he once shared with a counterpartner he once stole cars with. Now, a Pro Pad is an advanced key programming device designed for locksmiths, enabling them to program keys, clone transponders, and access vehicle immobilizer systems efficiently. It supports a wide range of car makes and models, making it an essential tool for automotive security professionals. However, in the underworld, this would be considered the holy grail when it comes to taking cars without doing it the old way or using a bunch of tools and hoping it works before the owner actually catches you. Now, this same piece of equipment is sold on Amazon for various prices, with one of the lowest being $300 and change, ranging all the way up to $1,600. Remember those prices as we get further into why Vino is now incarcerated for murder. Because according to reports, Vino was arrested back in February, initially on unknown charges, as his mugshot would then go viral first. Then, many people thought that he was just booked and charged on theft charges or weapon charges, being that we know him for striking and taking cars, also flashing firearms. However, we will recently learn the unthinkable as his charges have been revealed to the public, and it's said that he had been accused of catching a body. Not just anybody, but Vino would be charged for taking the life of one of his own friends or close associates of some sort that he was either striking cars with or was actually friends with. Now, according to a CWB Chicago article explaining the situation, it is state quote, "A man and a teenage boy faced murder charges and what prosecutors say was a planned robbery that ended with a 17-year-old shot dead in the Wicker Park alley. Davier White, 18, and Melvin Thomas, 17, are each charged with M in armed robbery in the November unaliving of Xavier Coletti, 17, whose body was found in the alley behind the 1500 block of North Honor Street. Surveillance video from around 1:44 a.m. captures a Jeep pulling to a stop in the alley. White steps out of the back seat holding a rifle and fires it into the open door, then watches as Coletti climbs out and tries to run, prosecutors said. White allegedly fired again as Coletti fled and fell to the pavement. As White climbed back into the Jeep, Thomas allegedly got out of the vehicle wearing a hoodie with the word death printed across the front. Prosecutors say he ran to where Coletti laid on the ground and bent down until a male voice is heard on the footage saying, I got the pad, come on." Thomas then returned to the Jeep and it drove away. He was lured into an alley, set up, and left to take his last breath alone. Relatives of Coletti said in a GoFundMe campaign. Chicago police officers responding to a shots fired call found Coletti unresponsive in the alley. He died a short time later. Investigators recovered multiple rifle casings and Coletti's phone at the scene. That phone became central to the case. Prosecutors say one of Coletti's Instagram accounts contained messages with a user whose associated phone number is registered to a grandparent of Thomas. The messages, sent the night of the unaliving, show the two were making plans to meet up. One message including a request for Coletti to bring his ProPad, a device prosecutors say can be used to steal cars. Prosecutors said Coletti and White had once been arrested together in a stolen vehicle. When police later recovered White's phone during the unrelated arrest, they found screenshots of those same Thomas-Coletti conversations along with separate messages between White and Thomas that prosecutors say show the two men conspiring to rob Coletti. Cell phone location data for both men placed them in the area of the M at the time of the shooting, and the data tracked with Jeep's movements before, during, and after the unaliving, according to prosecutors. Investigators allegedly found the video on Thomas's social media in which he appears to be wearing the same death hoodie seen in the surveillance footage. Thomas has a significant history in the juvenile justice system. Prosecutors say he was arrested in January 2025 while fleeing a stolen vehicle that had just been used in an armed robbery, pleaded guilty to a gun charge, and received juvenile probation. Less than a month later, he was arrested again for possessing a stolen motor vehicle and again received juvenile probation. He was on both of those probations at the time of Coletti's unaliving. Officials said he also had a juvenile adjudication for possessing a stolen vehicle in 2022. Now, yes, this kid has made a big mistake. And actually, he made a couple big mistakes. And to be honest with you, I don't even think they were mistakes. They were very much intentional. But this is what happens when you allow a kid that's influenced by rappers and other people he's influenced by on social media, right? He even posted a video on social media saying, no matter how much you shoot at me, I'm still gonna take your car, which is crazy.
Eric, they stole 21 cars. Can you believe that?
What? 21 cars? What? They could have gave me a car. 21 cars? What they gonna do? How they gonna drive 21
At
cars?
once.
Right, that's crazy.
But people don't understand. I don't know if y'all seen that video where the two kids called themselves trying to steal one of these guys' cars. I'm not sure if it was Philly or Chicago, one of these places, and he unalived both of them right there. And you can tell that they was kids because after one of them got shot, they started calling for their mother, right? So there's a far more harsher punishment for trying to take somebody's car other than just going to jail. You run the risk of somebody shooting and unaliving you, and unfortunately, yet fortunately, they're going to get off on the charge because you tried to take their car. And not to mention, nobody's playing with y'all, right? Nobody wants somebody to take something they worked so hard for. Could you imagine going to a 9-to-5 every day that you don't want to go to, but you got to pay bills, rent, car note, car insurance, all for somebody to take your car? And as y'all know, sometimes insurance don't care. You still got to come out of pocket for something that was literally taken from you. So y'all guys that's out there stealing cars and think it's cool, just think about the next time you go to take somebody's car and they come out shooting, how you gonna react? Because majority of the time, these guys that's taking these cars, they don't got a weapon. Because they're not there to do any harm. They just want to take cars for money. And the thing about that is, most of the guys selling these strikers is only getting anywhere from $5,000, maybe $10,000 for it. But here's the thing. You mean to tell me you either gonna go to jail for a very long time or be put in a casket all over $5,000 to $10,000? When you could potentially make more than that. We living in an age where money literally falling from the sky. You just gotta work, right? You ain't even gotta go to work. If you know what you're doing on these phones, you can make money out of nothing. Nobody want to put the work in. But anyway, it's safe to say that Vino is cooked and we won't be seeing him for probably the next 50 years. And also we can argue that maybe the justice system not only failed him, but continues to fail other children his age, right? Because if he was already locked up or maybe put in some type of program or something, maybe he wouldn't be in the situation that he's in now. They said this man was caught with a weapon. This man was caught basically doing the same thing over and over, taking cars, right? Caught with a weapon twice, caught taking cars twice. And yet they still just put him on probation. Maybe a life could have been saved if they at least locked him up for a couple years or something in juvenile detention. Who knows? But at the end of the day, this has been a running thing in Chicago where they take things very lightly. Whether it's a weapon offense, whether it's any type of criminal offense, it's taken very lightly in Chicago. And then we get situations like this, where now the same person that was locked up multiple times, he done went to the furthest extent and now he took a body. He was doing little petty crimes before, realizing he was getting away with it. Now he done built up the courage where he think that he can get away with anything, and now boom. But like I said, he's cooked. They got cell phone data, surveillance footage, text messages between him and the victim, text messages between him and his co-defendants planning the setup. It's clear that these guys weren't smart, but once again, they're kids. Not to mention, the article will also confirm that Vino was in fact friends with the victim, as they were arrested and caught in a stolen car together years prior. And we can only assume that they did this type of crime where they stole cars together. Now the article says as soon as he got to the alley, he just began shooting, and when they received the pro pad, that's when they ran back and left. Which means that they literally took this man's life all because of that device that they could have ordered on Amazon. This kid flashes a bunch of money 24/7, and you mean to tell me he couldn't take a fraction of that to go buy his own? But guess what? Influence. This is the same kid listening to Chucky Wackham as an artist that encourages this behavior. Not to mention all these Chicago artists that promote the backdoor and slimy culture, where setting up your friends and taking their lives seem to be the norm. See how the power of music go? Because let's be real here. They say the victim was 17. I'm sure all they had to do was point the gun at him and demand that device, and he would have given it up. Point blank period. They didn't even have to take his life at all. And now they got to deal with the consequence where they potentially may spend the rest of their lives in prison. But then again, it's Chicago, so we'll just have to wait and see, man. I hope this is a lesson to the YNs out there that glorify this lifestyle, because one minute you could be flashing cash, making TikToks, going out to fancy restaurants, to the next minute you're facing a judge that literally got your life in his hands. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. I'm out. Hold up, y'all. There's no way you're watching this video for free right now, where you could be getting paid literally just for playing games while this video play in the background at the same time. Only difference is the increase in your bank account. Now, I'm not saying you'll get rich, but I am saying that you can easily make something while doing nothing except for sitting on the couch playing games if you download the app Free Cash. Tap or click the link I pinned in the comment section, or scan the QR code that I put right here on the screen. Also, if you use my link right now, they give you a little something to start off with just for signing up. So if you want a little Uber Eats or something to snack on and don't feel like dipping into your own wallet, play a few games so you don't have to spend your own ends. Now let's get back to the video.